Hi guys, so let me see how I want to start this. So obviously by the title of the video you can tell this is going to be a little bit more of a serious video, and it's going to be a little bit different than really honestly anything I've ever filmed before. About a month ago I opened up on Instagram about how this year I am celebrating 5 years self-harm free, meaning I haven't self-harmed in 5 years. And it's a really big deal for me, and it's honestly something I never thought I'd be saying. The whole experience in the last 5 years, I just really want to share my story with you guys. I wanted to share my struggles. I wanted to be very open about my, about mental illness and about, depression, anxiety, stress. If you want to know a little bit more about me, or if you are personally struggling, I hope this can help. Okay, so let's just get into it. So I'm going to keep this video as positive as I can because I want to talk about how the last 5 years have felt for me with this kind of like addiction. So I started self-harming when I was about 13 years old, very young, and that's also really when my depression, I would say, started, was when I was 13. I didn't even know what anxiety was that young. I really didn't know what depression was either. I just knew I was sad a lot, and I didn't know how to express my pain fully, if that kind of makes sense for you. So, I went through a lot of therapy, and there would be times when I would stop self-harming for a period, but then I would always go back to it. If something traumatic happened, it was the first thing I did. If something bad happened, it was like all I could think about. It was like if I was feeling overwhelmed, I would just feel the need to hurt myself. And I know for people that have not dealt with this, it doesn't make sense to you, but it doesn't even really make sense to me sometimes, but it's just how I felt. It felt like I couldn't get any relief without doing that. 5 years ago, I can't even remember when I stopped, to be honest with you. I just know it's been 5 years because of the struggles I went through for the past 5 years. So I remember, being with my husband now, and just the feeling so happy with him. And when those moments would come up almost of feeling stressed, I would still have the urge to self-harm, and I couldn't understand exactly why. If my life was going well and I was happy, why do I feel like I need to still do these things? And that's when I realized it was an addiction. So through a lot of therapy and a lot of patience with myself and good friends, I have one friend who I could call at any moment, and I know that they would answer the phone and have my back, and I had a lot of support from my family and friends. And I also felt, as I was doing social media and as I was posting myself more, I wanted to be a good influence, and so it made me almost want to stop doing those things. This specific topic is really difficult for me to talk about because I feel like everyone's situation is so different. I just want to share where I'm kind of coming from. So let's kind of get into what I do when I feel the urge. So it happens even to today, and it'll probably happen my whole life. I've accepted that, through therapy. They've even told me it probably will. It is what it is, right? It's about what I'm doing when I go forward. So a lot of times when I'm feeling stressed or I'm feeling anxious, I'll do this motion a lot on my chest, or I'll grab my arm and start scratching. And if I'm if I'm arguing with somebody and I'm feeling sometimes I'll grab my arm, or if I'm feeling really anxious, I notice and I see myself doing it. And it's one of those things where I consciously have to be stop, breathe, you're gonna be okay, let's figure this out. And I have to remove myself from whatever situation that is. If I go for a long walk, I listen to some music that makes me feel good, I watch a movie, or I do the one thing that I love more than anything, and that has gotten me through this depression and anxiety, which is makeup. See that makeup has done so much for me. It's never about covering up for me or trying to look better, which is what makeup does, but it's just when I am doing my makeup, I never feel depressed. I never feel anxious, and I never feel stressed. I feel like I can come to my makeup studio, sit down and start playing, and I feel at peace, calm, and I feel that urge. That's where I go to escape. Or I've gotten now to the point where I can tell someone, hey, I'm not doing so good. I'm feeling so anxious right now, and this is what it is. And I'll go to either my husband, or I'll call my best friend, or just somebody, anybody. I'll just be like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling so overwhelmed. This is what's the problem. And I can usually talk myself down. Now, in the beginning, it wasn't like that. In the beginning, it was rough. I remember when I would start feeling anxious, I would go lock myself in the bathroom, and I would just sit there. I wouldn't do anything, but I would just sit there, and I would be like stressed out because that's all I could think about. It was like all my thoughts were taken up by this one thing, and I would let it control me, if that makes sense. I would let those thoughts consume me, and I would sit. I remember I'd sit in the bathroom like this, stressed out, and then I would come out and I wouldn't really feel good still. But now, when I'm feeling those thoughts of anxiety, or I'm feeling sad about whatever, I know okay, this is how I'm feeling. Now, let's go play with some makeup. Let me go read a book to my son. Let me go watch a movie, listen to some music that motivates me, swatch makeup, anything. Just something to get me in a creative mindset, something to get me out of this negative. Having my son really changed things for me too. I want to be a role model for him. Like, I want to be someone he looks up to. And I want him to be proud of me one day, just like I'm proud of him all the time. So I don't want to hurt myself, you know. I want to be able to overcome the thoughts that are in my head. And like I said, it's a struggle, but it's something that I work on every day. God, I feel like this video is a little all over the place. I've really never opened up about depression, anxiety. I can open up about those things, but this whole self-harm thing is very hard for me to open up to anybody about. Sorry, my camera shut off. I need to get it together. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't apologize. Like, I'm just being open. If you are somebody that is struggling with self-harm, or you know someone that is struggling, I know this is gonna sound maybe corny, or maybe you've heard this before. I know I did, but it really is going to be okay. I never believed anybody when they told me that, to be honest. At one point, before I knew Kenny and before I had my son, at one point I really thought my life was over. I'll get into that in another video, but I really thought there was no going up for me. I thought that was it, you know. I thought that's who I am gonna be forever. I'm just gonna be always depressed, and I'm always gonna self-harm, and there's never gonna be any hope. I've been there, but I am telling you to hold on, okay? You just have to fight enough for yourself. You have to love yourself enough to get better. I don't want to sound harsh, but I'm just trying to kind of make it make sense, make my thoughts make sense on camera. This is so hard to film. I'm so sorry. I really hope this is making sense. I think it's so important to have somebody in your life that you can come to no matter what's going on. You don't need a husband for that. You don't need a man for that. You need to just find someone that has your back. It doesn't have to be a family member. It doesn't even have to be someone you see. My friend, we rarely see each other. We probably talk on the phone every couple months, but I am telling you, if I text her and say, we need to talk, I need you, she is there for me. And she has been there for me pretty much for my whole journey. It's amazing. And now I'm at a point in my life where I I'm happy. Things are going well for me. I was able to move to New York. Never thought I would be able to do that. I was able to have a family, have a career I love. Never thought I would have that. And now it's like things are good, but I want you to understand something. Just because things look good on my Instagram or things look good on the internet doesn't mean people are not struggling. And that's why I want to make this video. That's really the point of this, is because I want to show you that just because something looks pretty on the outside, it's not always the case. And you know, I want to be vulnerable. I want to be open about my story with you, because I'm really hoping that through this I can help other people. I hope this video all comes together and makes sense when I go to edit it. But this is just part one, you guys. I'm gonna make some more videos kind of talking more about specific situations I've been in, things that really, you know, broke me, how I overcame them, like what I do now, and how I stay positive. That's a big thing too. But I just wanted to kind of make an intro video. Like I said, a month ago when I announced this on my Instagram, I got a lot of questions and a lot of love, and I thought, you know what, this is the time to do it. I've always wanted to open up about my story, so I think this is how I'm gonna do it, is here through my YouTube channel. But yeah, hopefully you guys like this video. Hopefully, you know, it opens up a topic we can talk about. I feel like when I was growing up, no one talked about these things, and I think it's important to talk about it, and I think it's important to listen. So I really hope I can use my experiences to help other people that might be going through the same thing that I went through. There are days I don't want to get out of bed, you guys. There are days I don't want to move. But I make myself. I find a way. I clean. I eat healthy. I go to the gym. I find ways to make everything feel good about me. It's hard. I will not lie to you. It is hard to do sometimes, because sometimes our brains are racing. My brain will race all night long sometimes with just thoughts that aren't even realistic, and I can't get my brain to shut off sometimes. But I find ways. I push myself, and I was never the kind of person to do that. I would just always just be so negative. But I'm telling you, you gotta be positive and push yourself and love yourself. Hope that this whole series that I have, like this idea for, you guys are excited for. So, okay, well, that's it for the first part of this series. So I'll see you guys in the next video.